Peace, global family. I hope that this finds you well wherever you are around the globe. It's Aisha Fukushima, and I just wanted to tune in with a couple short thoughts with regards to social distancing and what I like to call social spaciousness. One thing that I've noticed as I take short walks around the neighborhood wearing a mask and working hard to keep that 2 meters or 6 feet of distance between myself and other folks is how often people are having a hard time remembering or taking care to share things like sidewalks and walking areas to make sure that we can keep that social distance. And also, a lot of folks of means, I'm noticing, are not wearing masks as they run, as they bike, as they jog, as they walk. So this brings up a couple of thoughts to me. One thing is, I know that this pandemic has taken over the news, and every focus is with regards to how we can stay well and or help promote public health during this time, and that is super important. At the same time, I also want us to stay critical and to think about the ways in which power and privilege are intertwined with the way that we take up space and the way that we share space. So keeping in mind that when we share a sidewalk or when we make room at the grocery store or what have you, including for essential workers who don't have that option of staying home, that is an exercise of our power and privilege, how we decide to share space or don't. Some people have talked about this idea of space and power in terms of gender even prior to this epidemic, right? Like man spreading this whole idea of taking up space and that being a flex of power and taking on like a kind of a dominant position. I want us to think about the ways in which we can share space better. And that includes also when we have that option of wearing or creating our own masks at home, even from a simple handkerchief and a couple of hair ties. That not only protects ourselves, but it protects one another. And when we do activities like running and so on and so forth, we are exuding more breath that gets propelled further out. And so yes, it might be tougher to run or exercise with a mask. I hear you on that. And at the same time, it's so crucial for us to take care of each other. This is not a time to kind of falter in that collective care. So I just wanted to share that. I wanted to also think about the many people who are houseless, who are in detention centers, who are currently incarcerated, who are currently working essential jobs and do not always have the option to socially distance, to maintain the 6 feet, so on and so forth. And that those of us who can work from home, those of us who have a little bit more flexibility with regards to how much space that we can choose to take up, that we can choose to share, it's really important for us to check our own privilege and to be able to make sure that we're doing the best that we can to help support collective well-being. This includes taking responsibility for wearing and creating our own masks, and for doing simple things like sharing the sidewalk. I hope that this reflection can then also inform our everyday practice as activists out in the world. How can we share space? How can we share social spaciousness? How can we make room for the many people who have been marginalized for way too long? I think these are all important questions, and I hope that it inspires you today as you work and walk and live through your day. If you are an essential worker, if you are stuck in a space or place that doesn't feel safe during this time, please know that you're in my thoughts. And that we are working as hard as we can in solidarity to support and to help get us through to the other end of this pandemic as best we can collectively. If you have ideas for ways that we can further support each other, or ideas of how we can be radically inclusive and loving during this time, please feel free to message me, send me your thoughts. I look forward to hearing from you. In the meantime, take care, be well, and keep showing love. Appreciate y'all. Peace.